No one has to be healthy. San Francisco taps fat activist as weight stigma czar. They have a fat czar. Republicans have Tom Homan as the border czar. Democrats have a fat czar now. This is real. This is real. So, I haven't read it, and you know how this is going to go. Let's be honest. You've seen me before. You know how this is going to go. You can do it, Brad. San Francisco's Department of Public Health has tapped fat activists. My eyes are already watering. Is her name Vergi? As a liberal city's weight stigma czar. Author of You Have the Right to Remain Fat. Shit. Oh, no. No. And DEI professional, announced a position on her Instagram. I'm unbelievably proud to serve the city. Yeah, just what a hero. What a hero. I've called home for almost 20 years in this way. Yeah, she's like the police, and the firefighters. She's just a hero. She's really giving up things. This consultancy is an absolute dream come true. And it's my biggest hope and belief that weight neutrality will be the future of public health. Oh, God, man, we live in the best time. Well, she describes herself as a leading expert on weight-based discrimination and body positivity over a decade of experience of eating donuts and fast food. Yes, it doesn't say that. I added that part in. According to her website, which also details her as a DEI or diversity, equity, and inclusion work, which means you don't do anything. That's a very fancy way of saying I'm lazy and I don't do anything and I'm going to take your money. Vergi's corporate trainings focus on creating a non-judgmental environment where professionals can build awareness, and vocabulary, which I lack in personally, and best practices aimed at decreasing occupational weight-based discrimination. She combines her academic background, professional expertise, and personal lived experience to design virtual and in-person experiences that open up curiosity. How'd you get that big, Vergi? Empathy and empowerment. Now, look, if there's patriots in here that are a little overweight, this isn't about you, okay? This is not about you. This is about Vergi, okay? It's about Vergi. Oh, no. Here we go.
Intersection, really, what is your definition of health?
Yeah, that's really complicated, right? I think I want to talk about that question, but I want to start by saying that, no one has to be healthy. No, right? Like, I mean, it's like, no, like there is no governing body that's like out there putting, you know what I mean? It's like no one owes anybody that in either the traditional sense of the word or any other more innovative or, more politicized, maybe even version of that word. So I think it's important to say like, and I want to back up and bring in intersectionality and say like, right, like look at the disabled community, right? Like I think people with disabilities have and activists within that space have consistently been saying like, I'm never going to be your notion of healthy. That doesn't mean I don't get to be a full human. You get to treat me some kind of way, right? And so I think that I love taking that principle within disability rights to fat activism and to understandings of fatness. So I want to start there, right? Like no matter what size you are, you don't owe anybody else your health. But I mean, for me, right, like in an ideal world where in an ideal world, there wouldn't be health-based gatekeeping at all.
And you're gonna tell me the education systems work, folks? She said absolutely nothing. And if she did say something, it's crazy. Oh yeah, people should, it's okay to be fat. No, it's not. It's actually not okay to be fat. It's very detrimental to yourself, and honestly to your psyche as well. This whole idea like, oh, you know what? I'm body positivity. I'm gonna wear what I want. No. And, I'm a logical guy. I like to think, not always. Sometimes I'm an idiot. But I'm just going to leave that up on the screen, okay? Because I think it really does simplify the video that we just watched. When you're overweight, there's a lot of health complications that come with that. We just got done having a massive virus being unleashed by China. Oh, Wuhan, it's it's China. If you were obese, you were more likely to be killed by it. And by the way, if you're obese, you're more likely to be killed by a lot of other things, not just COVID. Well, if you're obese and it leads to a lot of complications and you have insurance and you're always having to go to the doctor because you're not healthy, guess whose insurance also goes up? Everybody else's. And that's why insurance companies are actually starting to pay people to go and get checkups and take care of their health and go walking a certain amount of steps and tracking all of it. They'll actually pay you money for that, because in the long run, them paying you money to stay healthy is actually cheaper than it is to take care of you when you're sick. Now, she seems like I'll be honest, she seems like a nice person. I wish she was healthy. She will say that she's healthy. Now, there has to be something in the comment section here, so we're gonna roll through this one. I haven't even read this yet. Believes that well-being is about more than just physical health. It includes our emotions, social connections, and mental health too. This wider view suggests that people should focus on what makes them happy, like enjoying hobbies, spending time with friends, or taking something. Leftism. We want universal health care. We also want gluttony, hedonism, and lack of all accountability. That is true. And personal responsibility. See, you made that person fat. It was like that whole McDonald's thing, right? They were suing McDonald's. McDonald's made me fat. It's McDonald's fault. There is no personal responsibility in our society anymore. I've said this for years. Look at American society. We pass down our problems that we've caused for ourselves on other people. Doesn't matter if it's the education system. You could commit a crime in front of somebody and they will blame you for them committing the crime. Oh, well, he forced me to do it because he's white. Like, what? People think I'm making this stuff up. I'm not just pulling out of my you-know-what. 10 states with healthiest populations in the U.S. Well, I haven't heard the whole conversation, but if you listen closely to this clip, she says you do not owe anyone else to be healthy. Interrupt this in combination with no one has to be healthy comment that she don't want people to be shamed. I'm done. Done. The hell? So there's more. No, I was done reading the comments. We're back. Here we go.
FI. If you're like many women, you've been to a birthday party or a small office gathering, an event that's meant to bring people together. There's swinging tunes, some adult beverages, and good convo. And then it comes time to cut the cake, and someone decides to ruin everything.
Oh my God, that slice is huge. That slice is bigger than Beyonce's paycheck. Can you cut me half of that?
A cake-related fat-phobic incident, or CRFI, is that moment when it's time to eat delicious cake and it's interrupted by a moralizing impulse.
What? I'm going to say this very clearly. I'm not better than anybody here. I'm not an intellectual. I identify as an idiot. It's true. I'm not a smart guy. I don't play it off to be. I will never claim to be. If somebody thinks I act like that, you got the wrong idea about me. This is a person masquerading as an intellectual. Cake-related fat-phobic incident. Because you want half a slice to eat, because maybe you don't like sugar, you want to indulge, you want to be nice of eating somebody's cake that they bought. I don't like store-bought cake. That's a personal thing. I hate it. I despise it. It's not good to me. But because somebody bought it, I want to be nice. I will have a small sliver of cake. I don't even eat the frosting on it. Furthermore, if a cake is too sweet, I love sugar stuff, but sometimes it's just like, whoa, it's too much. Just give me half a slice, or I'm already full from eating, but I want a little bit of a teaser. You know what I mean? Wet the palate a little bit with the cake, you know? Give me a break, lady. That moment when it's time to eat delicious cake and it's interrupted by a moralizing impulse.
slice. Inevitably, there's always someone at the party who has to declare publicly that their slice is too large, and that the person who's cutting the cake, almost invariably a woman, must do some disproportionate amount of labor in order to accommodate their need to feel superior. Let's take a look.
Can you do a little bit, just like,
Can you like scrape all the frosting off and cut it in half and give me 2 forks because I'm sharing?
small, like a little bit more, like tiny, no, like less than what you're smaller, please.
Could you just cut my piece into 12 equal symmetrical little pieces and put each one into a tiny little Tupperware so that I can have a bite for each month of 2018? Thanks.
Smaller.
Let's take a step back and view what's happening through a critical feminist lens. CRFIs typically happen in environments where there are
Is nobody shocked that they made it throughout the whole day with nobody taking a bite of that cake? Is anybody else shocked by that?
are primarily or exclusively women. Women are disproportionately negatively affected by diet culture because diet culture maps onto sexism. Like many parts of diet culture, there is a significant performance component. You have to show others that you are being good. Controlling how much you eat is part of what it means to be a, quote, good woman. This kind of behavior is a way for people to keep other people in check through food moralizing, surveillance, and policing. These are the mechanisms that are at the core of diet culture and weight control. The idea
All right. I tell people there's no greater time to get ahead. Life is just competition, right? That's all it is. Life is just competition. These are NPCs roaming around. They're telling people to stay fat. This is no different than all the women buzzing their heads and not having sex with other men, which they weren't having sex with other men anyways, these leftist libtards, when Donald Trump won. We're going to revolt and show you guys we're going to shave our heads. You weren't attractive before you shave your head. You sure in hell ain't attractive now, and thank God you're not reproducing. It's like the Lord knew. You know what I mean? Even the Lord doesn't want them to reproduce. He's like, look, I've had enough myself. I'll be honest, I was looking to see if there's like a little sliver of somebody couldn't contain themselves and like, you know, like a little flick of frosting and eat it. I was looking at the cake. And the God, I realized it's true. I was like, I wonder if anybody was just sitting there getting the shakes, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I need it. But it's okay to be fat according to them, you guys. It is not. I'm going to tell the Patriots because I love you. Look, I'm somebody that struggles. I shouldn't. People are going to, you don't struggle with weight. What I mean by struggle with weight gain is I could gain weight really quickly and I could lose it really quickly. The highest I've ever been was 210. I'm about a 5'10" guy. So even on my heaviest my heaviest was 215. But even then, it doesn't really show tremendously. But you guys get healthy. It's about 80% diet. You just got to diet. That's all it is. You can eat a lot of food, by the way, dieting. You eat a lot of damn food. Anyways, I care about you guys as a why. I don't want you to be heavy set and something bad happened to you. I mean, all seriousness. I look you in the eyes. Look at me. Look at me.